This face on the screen is no longer a new face to Nigerians. It's now familiar to people because of the issue of Christian genocide and what is going on in Nigeria, and also because of the American interest to what is going on in Nigeria. This man is one of the people that drew Trump's attention to designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and he has been leading the delegation to fact-finding missions. And when they came to Nigeria about 3 days ago, he made a statement. He said the U.S. delegation's visit focused on strategy to destroy terrorists, stop killing of Christians in Nigeria, really more. Now, about 9 hours ago, he posted on X, formerly Twitter. He said, "Why in Benue? Benue is a state in Nigeria. I met with dozens of Christians who were driven from their homes and subjected to horrific violence and now live in IDP camps. They told horror stories that will remain with me for the rest of my life." Mark that sentence. One woman was forced to watch as they killed her husband and 5 children. She and her unborn child barely escaped. Another woman's family was murdered in front of her, and her baby was ripped from her womb. Do you understand that? Okay. One man's family was hacked to death in front of his eyes, and his hand was permanently mangled. There are more than 600,000 Christians in the IDP camps in Benue State alone. Let me repeat that. There are more than 600,000 Christians in IDP camps in Benue alone. These Christians should be able to live in their ancestral homeland without fear of genocidal Fulani. What this man explained to you today, if anybody tells you that the reason why they killed these people is because of a farmer herders clash or because of a terrorist that just want to terrorize, any person telling you that, you have to go and check the person mentality, okay? This is nothing but genocide. What is someone in the womb? You tore the womb of the woman and you bring out the baby and you still kill the baby inside the womb. This is genocide. This is genocide. And that is the reason why he ended what he said with genocidal Fulani. So what he's telling you that, I have visited Nigeria. I have seen that there is a Christian genocide. I have seen that there are genocides. I have seen what is going on. And to couple it up, more than 600 Christians are in IDP camp just in Benue State. Now, let me draw your attention to this. If you feel that you are intelligent, you are brilliant, have you ever asked yourself this question? Why do we have more than 600,000 people in IDP camp in just Benue State? What is the essence of the war? Who brought the war? 600,000 people in just Benue State? See, sometimes I am forced to say a prayer. May those who never understand the pains of Nigerians, may that pain visit them. Both the Nigerians, celebrity, both every one of them, including me, anybody who do not understand the pains of these people, what they are narrating, like a family, they will just tie you to a corner. Your own is for you to watch how they kill your children. And someone will come out to tell us, oh, Nigeria is good, Nigeria is do this one. May what happened to those people happen to you if you feel it is good. Because in the process of looking for our own way of maximizing our business, looking for connection with the government, we forget what matters most: humanity. We lost our humanity. We lost it long time ago. I see people praising the Nigerian government. I see people praising. See, the first thing you are supposed to feel in you, if you have humanity, is these people in IDP camp. Let me put myself in their situation. All of you writing on Facebook, on X, let me say you are in this position. They kill all your family. You will be the only one remaining. And you are a husband. You are a man. You have a husband. May they tear the womb of your husband and bring out your unborn child and still kill that of your unborn child in your presence? If they do that to you, will you make the same statement? If that was done to Rebado will not be making the statement he's making. If that was done to Tinubu will not make the statement he's making. If that was done to anybody writing and supporting this rubbish, they will not say the same thing. So the difference between their own stance on what is going on is because it has not happened to them. It has not happened to them. That is their own issue. Because if it had happened to them, they will not say what they are saying today. So I really thank this, congressman, because I told people that their visit to Nigeria is just for them to It's like a formality. This is what they know since. Do you understand? This is what they know since. Now, let me tell you where the problem is, because if I tell you something that is going on, I will also tell you what is about to happen and where the problem lies. Now, where the problem is that the Nigerian government assured them that they are going to stop this killing. The Nigerian government assured them, Rebado assured them that Nigeria is going to stop this killing. When they asked him, he said, within 1 month to 2 months, that they are going to stop this killing. Can you spot something that is wrong with that? Of course, that is it. They can't stop it. That is the truth. Now, after Rebado made that statement, Shegumi sent message out. Do you know what Shegumi said? Shegumi said, the Nigerian military cannot stop or win the war against the bandits. Shegumi made that statement less than 24 hours. Rebado told the US that within 2 months, they will stop it. Shegumi sent a message. But don't blame Shegumi. The message Shegumi is sending out is the same message that Sultan of Sokoto said. You know, Sultan of Sokoto made a statement 6 months ago that if actually the insecurity in Nigeria will come to an end, that is going to take like 20 years, decades, 20 years and above. A decade is 10 years, but decades is 20 years and above. So that was the position of Sultan of Sokoto. So Sheikh Ahmed Gumi is saying that no, Nigeria cannot win this war. So do you understand that even the Nigerian government knows that Nigeria have this capacity, but they can't do it? They are setting Tinubu up. But Tinubu is not smart enough. Tinubu is not wise enough. Before they kill Gaddafi, before Obama and the Democrats killed Gaddafi, I understand the kind of place they put Gaddafi. Now, I'm not saying that America is coming to, kill Tinubu. No, that is not what I'm saying. But you see, the coup that happened in Cotonou, the world now sees that yes, Nigeria have the capacity to destroy these terrorists, but they did not do it. So this exposed Nigeria more. The action of Tinubu in Cotonou is exposing Nigeria more to America. So America is now seeing it, okay, these people can actually deploy surveillance helicopter. So why do we still have school children in the bush? Releasing only 100, the rest are in the bush. And you have surveillance helicopter, you have military jet aircraft, and you have foot soldiers that if the helicopter is up, foot soldiers can be down and aircraft can run around and rescue these people and finish all these Islamic jihadists. Why? So why are these people not moving? This has further exposed Tinubu. So this is a trap. Tinubu has now entered into the trap. This is a big trap. Macron has pushed Tinubu to enter into the trap of the US. You have the capacity to do this. You fail to do it. So why is it that you are failing to protect your people? And they are concerned about Christians, okay? A lot of people, I saw so many messages that are being sent on the comment, okay? On the comment, the extension, to read them all. People are saying, why didn't you visit Bono? Why didn't you visit here? Why didn't you visit Enugu? These people are concerned about religious freedom. Okay, what is happening in Benue State, they understand it better than you. Even when they came to rescue Chibok girls, is it not the Northerners that also told Boko Haram that the US is coming to put gas that you people should wear masks? They understand that there is a symbiotic relationship in a perverse manner at the detriment of the what is it called, of the masses. So they look at the budgets of the Northern states. They saw 12 billion in Benue State government just for Boko Haram if they repent. And they understand there is a symbiotic relationship. So these people, you people are putting them into the army. There is a symbiotic relationship. So they understand that this is a government-sponsored terror. And it is killing these people. So the government are responsible for this. That is why the US, especially Ted Cruz, is interested, not was, he's interested that US should force Nigeria to scrap the Sharia law and blasphemy law, because all these terrorists, they are leveraging on that Sharia law to do what they are doing, that Nigeria is not a nation that they should live. And you know what? Yerima told us that it is the ambition of every Muslim to have a Sharia state. And it is the ambition to turn Nigeria into a Sharia state. So they understand what is going on very well there. But you now took the madness and you brought the madness to Christian communities and start killing them to take the land. That is the problem. So the US mission is more of faith. You understand? It's more of faith, to defend Christian faith. It's more of religious freedom. Even the law that is permitting them to do all these things is a law of religious freedom. So that is why you see they are focusing on Plateau and Benue State, because Plateau and Benue State, there is nothing you will tell me. There is a Christian genocide, massive one, in Plateau and Benue State. And at the end, if it will take the United States to set up a base and turn this place to their own country, don't be surprised they are going to do it. Anyway, you see, a lot of things is about to be unfolded. A lot of things. So their visit to Nigeria further confirmed the genocide. That 600,000 are in the IDP camp. What are they doing in the IDP camp? What is 600,000 doing in IDP camp? No, someone should answer this question. What is 600,000 people doing in the IDP camp? Everybody in Nigeria, from the president to the governor, they have all failed. 600 people in the IDP camp, and people in the Senate are talking rubbish every day. Nigeria deserves a revolution. Nigerians should be able to sacrifice for once. Okay? And that is what we thought that was supposed to happen during End Bad Governance protests. And that is why we all participated during the End Bad Governance protest. But you see, there will always be a section who will tell you, don't do this, don't do this. That is why revolution is difficult in Nigeria. But Nigerians must do a sacrifice, must get ready to die. Yeah. Because everything happening now has proven one thing: the government is complicit. Yeah. The government is complicit. The government hand is involved in anything that is going on. And we are not going to pretend that we don't know that the government are sponsoring all these things. So that is it. Let us wait for the response. I think they said within a month that the US is going to announce action. Let us wait, because these people cannot neutralize them. Sheikh Gumi has already told them that if that thing you are attending US, you are wasting your time. The military cannot stop these bandits. So if the military cannot stop the bandits, if you even have brain, ask yourself a question: does it mean we are going to remain like this forever? So does it mean these people will conquer you forever? No. Does it mean that people will continue to conquer you like this? Enough is enough, you know. These things we are saying is beyond all the social media narrative. It is beyond what we just come out here to talk. But the reason why we are doing what we are doing is because the media in Nigeria, they are also complicit. I'm talking about the mainstream media. They are complicit to what is happening. They are not doing the right thing. They are loyal to politicians. They would like you to hear what the politicians want you to hear. That is why we are doing what we are doing. Because if bloggers and people who can do little investigation to publish and tell you what is going on stop, the whole narrative will change. And that is why we are doing what we are doing. But don't fail to let me know what you think about all this. I am Okocha myself, a conflict and insecurity reporter.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is the principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim.
Do you think Nigeria should become a Sharia nation?
That is my ambition, and that is the ambition of every Muslim in this country.
So, as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia. So, as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.
Item 62 says National Assembly shall not make any law that affects Islamic law. This second schedule. So this amendment is against second schedule, item 60.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is the principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim, because he doesn't even know what is Islam. If you are a Muslim, you have to live your life according to the dictates of Sharia. From the time you are born up to the time you will marry, the relationship between you and your parents when you are small, your responsibility to them or their responsibility to you, The relationship between you and your wife, if you marry, how you will marry, your responsibility to your wife, then your responsibility to the neighbors, to the entire society, is all defined under Islam, under Sharia. That is what is called Sharia. It is not just the capital punishment that people are talking about. This is just part of one aspect of Sharia. The major aspect of Sharia is called Mu'amala. That is how you relate to human beings, other human beings, even animals. There are ways we have to cut and kill our animals. There are ways you enter toilet. There is way you come out of toilet. So everything in Islam is defined under Sharia. So it's a code of life for Muslims. So as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.